Jedi Fallen Order is the first Star Wars game of its kind in quite some time. Not since EA bought all rights to Star Wars games and decided to produce nothing but Battlefield Space have we gotten a progressive single-player experience. Welcome to the fledgling empire, Scrapper. This is Cal, a teenage Jedi hipster that doesn't let living a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away keep him from pursuing his taste in the Mongolian metal scene. They're called The Who? You've probably never heard of them. Now this is one thing I always love about Star Wars. Yeah, see that planet? Scrapyard. Yeah, whole planet. Scrapyard. The scale is just immense, and it lets you get a sense of the preposterous size of an intergalactic civilization. It also gives room for some of the amazing set pieces and vistas as the Scrapyard goes about processing the remnants of the Clone Wars. This is a fantastic way to introduce and establish all the characters, story, and tie it all into the established timeline of the Star Wars universe. But it was not meant to be. You're going about your day scrapping, then tragedy strikes. One thing leads to another, and you find yourself trying to explain to your Sith bosses how you have Jedi training and why they shouldn't make you part ways with your most precious bodily extremities. It turns out the work environment is a bit too hostile, and it's probably best you move on and maybe try for that Starbucks job you've been eyeing in the paper. Just then, you're scooped up by Space Mom and forearm Space Stepdad and hired on for the grave-robbing family business. Time to go relic hunting. This adventure graces us with what has become known as Souls-like combat system that has you defeating hordes of enemies with your participating in combat with swarms of Empire plebs. The Empire has a balanced roster including fancy new troopers in their spiffy black uniforms. These troopers provide a genuine challenge and further push the Nazi imagery to an almost satirical level. The combat is precise, and the controls are tight enough that even though you start off struggling to beat 2 stormtroopers at the beginning, eventually you will be mowing through an entire battalion of soldiers like a sociopath. Soon you find yourself hunting the biggest and baddest enemies in the game to square up and test your mettle. As with all Star Wars stories, the stormtroopers aren't the only foes you deal with. The monsters are big and imposing, and with the combat style of this game, you can easily get overwhelmed if you're not careful. The combat skill and progression systems are balanced enough that it gives you a genuine feeling of accomplishment as you dance and duel with foes and challenges throughout the game. Before you know it, you are whisked away to a quaint little planet to seek a temple at the behest of Jedi Uncle Chad or whatever, to uncover secrets of a long-lost civilization. It starts out nice, but when you go through a new big ordeal and think, aha, a new piece of the puzzle, you get a message from Jedi Chad saying, yeah, I know, weird, right? Anyway, keep moving, simp. The whole ordeal just ends up feeling a little pointless. There are the bones of a really good concept here, but it just seems to get undercut along the way. But it's an excuse for an adventure, and honestly, it's more of an excuse than I need. Other worlds lay before you, providing a diverse set of circumstances, and it's a fun ride to uncover all the secrets, helping you stay one step ahead of the Empire. This game is surprisingly linear, and it's honestly a little immersion-breaking to be in a vast, open universe story-wise, but then be pointed down a narrow corridor to your next objective. They even bothered to animate Cal shuffling through crevices so you can bet those corridors are narrow. Fortunately, there are shortcuts built into most levels that make it far more convenient to strip them of their valuables on return visits. The narrow scope becomes painfully clear by the lack of customizable options in the game. There is no choice which planets you can explore. I say that even though there is one choice where you actually get 2 planets open at once, only to travel to one and discover, oh, I can't even do this yet. Then you grab a lightsaber upgrade and leave immediately. The story flow wouldn't even really be affected by a more open travel planet system. The planets all have important objectives gated behind force power barriers anyways. It would be so much more immersive to explore planets and then have their story objectives be the organic driver that spurs you to return or move to another planet to uncover more of the story. And while we're at it, please have some more character customizations if you're gonna bother. Character customization in this game is like, Heck yeah, we got customizations. You like ponchos? No? No. There are so many better things to customize than your poncho, or the color of the droid you can barely see on the screen, or the ship paint you almost never see, and the fittings on your lightsaber that are basically invisible anywhere but some cutscenes, even on my 55-inch 4K TV. I would love to have customizations that change my lightsaber to the point where it affects my combat style. I do love the inclusion of the double-bladed lightsaber, but it would be great to have two single-handed sabers, angled blades, different hilt styles that improve blocking, shorter blades that improve close-quarters combat at the cost of range. An incredible addition would be to be able to modify my outfit with armor to balance out whatever weaknesses that my combat styles may have. But still, this is an incredibly well put together, linear, progressive, action-driven game. The environments are gorgeous. Like, really gorgeous. It's hard to convey just how amazing the visuals and lighting are in this game. I would say they were the best thing in the game if it wasn't for the sound and the music. I would argue that a big part of the success of the Star Wars franchise is that it has some of the best sound design, and this game carries that torch proudly. It adds a wonderful, visceral nature to the action of the universe. Ugh. I could talk all day about how awesome and epic lightsaber battles are for the senses. The music is so well put together, you would think John Williams himself composed the game. Most of the time spent playing, you don't even notice the music, and that is exactly what a good soundtrack should do. The music melds nearly seamlessly with the action and story so that you feel like you're playing more of a movie than a game. Probably the biggest surprise for this game is that the story is so well written. Everyone has motives and histories, opinions and feelings. The characters are dynamic and multifaceted enough that the story is genuinely interesting to listen to, whether it's stories of buried emotional trauma, chatting in the cockpit, or helping Space Stepdad with his terrarium. All the characters have a dynamic range to them, even characters that have almost no place in the story. You start to feel like you're part of the universe by listening to the different opinions and stories that people tell. Sometimes it's not even what they say, but how they say it.
Hey, do me a favor. Stay alive down there.
I'll add it to the plan.
It's subtle universe building at its finest, which is amazing to see in a video game, and will probably go unnoticed by many. Hats off to the actors, directors, and writers. So, should you play it? Yes. Is it a worthy addition to the Star Wars game library? Also yes. I feel like this game is about a quarter of the way to being something truly epic and generation-defining. Imagine all this unlocking your powers storyline was just the first quarter of the game before the universe really opens up. How awesome would that be? Considering how far away it is from just being another Battlefield game with lasers, I would say we are well on our way to something great. I hope EA keeps exploring this path, or someone at Disney gives someone else other than EA a chance with the Star Wars game license. All in all, I would say this is a great game and definitely worth the buy if you enjoy the Star Wars franchise. Remember, EA, you did a good thing here. Build on it. Don't tear it down. If you like Fan vs. Franchise and would like to see more, subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments. I'm Jeremy of the New Level Nerds, and we'll see you next time.